Okay, you guys, what is up? The King of Lightning is here today to do Hunter x Hunter. Hunter x Hunter 2011, episode 146 review. Of course, episode link in the box below on Crunchyroll.com. This week's episode, whoa. Now, it's not action-packed. There's no explosions and Nen power-ups. None of that stuff. I mean, like, you see Jin freaks for, like, a short amount of time just strong-arm some dudes because they were just causing a ruckus. They're like, what the fuck? Like, you're a terrible dad. And Jin's like, fucking, yeah, I got you. Like shit like that, man. But that was it. Just that was it. Like, that's all there was when it came to action. And we didn't even really see Jin go in on the guys of the crowd. I mean, like, we see him just having, like, these dudes, like these two guys chokehold, but that's it. The episode, more or less, is supposed to be touching, and it is, to a certain degree, because I do feel happy for Jin and Gon, because they're meeting together, obviously, for what seems to be, like, forever. And it's, like, the first time, because think about it from this perspective. The original intent of Gon at the beginning of the series was to what? Find Jin. That was the original intent. And you kind of lose sight of that intent when Greed Island is over. Remember, Greed Island ends off with Gon assuming that he's going to use a company over to Jin. Winds up being Kite instead. And for a long stretch of time, because the Chimera Ant is, I think, like the longest arc in Hunter x Hunter, you completely forget about what the original objective is. Gon completes the objective that he set out to complete, to find his father Jin. And he did. And it was touching because the first thing he's doing to, the first thing he's saying to his dad is, I'm sorry. Because of me, because of my actions, Kite died. And so on and so forth. So that was touching. Very touching. And arguably, was even more touching was the Killua and the Luca thing. Especially at the end, because when you had Subone watching and she was crying, and then you had Killua cry, and then you had Nanika cry, and there's tears everywhere. And how he originally banished her into, like, the deeper realms of Aluka's mind. And Aluka's like, no. Like, if you gotta protect me, then you also gotta protect Nanika. That's the way it is. And she's crying. And, you know, Killua, he bows. You know, obviously he wants to call Nanika back, and he has the whole bowing thing, and he starts to cry because he realized that he was still under the influence of his older bro. So, again, very touching scene. Now, I'm not going to argue which was more touching. I mean, I can say from a story standpoint, the one I think that is more quintessential is the Gon and Jin scene, because of the fact that that was the original objective of the entirety of the series, and he completed it. Gon completed his original objective. Seriously. So, that's good. That's very good. So, this episode's huge from that standpoint. It's monumental. Now, granted, it's not like the meeting. Like, okay, let me say it like this. When you first watch Hunter x Hunter, you don't expect Gon, when he does meet his father, to have this kind of outcome. Where the end result is him saying a few words, then Jin saying a few words, and then it's like, okay, leave. Go and apologize to Kite. So, you know, like, you don't expect that, but that's how it rolls, right? That's how Togashi works. That's how he operates. And Jin does clarify that the reason why Kite's still alive, in essence, is because one of his abilities on the slot machine, on the crazy slot machine, is, well, one of the numbers is, in essence, it comes out when Kite does not want to die. When his will supersedes his normal standing. And he says, you know what, no, I want to live, I gotta live, and this number appears. So how this number, because remember, we saw Kite, we saw his head. Pito, she had his head on his lap. So you're like, what kind of ability does that slot machine Nen have? Where it allows him to still remain alive. And in essence, I mean, think about it. Like, he's alive, but that little baby that we saw in the Chimera Ant Queen's womb, it's a Chimera Ant. So, like, what happened there exactly? Like, what happened? And we're not too sure. And it can't be more or less that Kite, like, he was consumed by the Chimera Ant Queen, and then, like, his memories retained because of that whole phagogenesis thing. I forgot what it's called. Like, when they eat I think it's phago something. Where pretty much, like, they eat the person or they eat the creature and the DNA, and sometimes the memories of their past lives carry on into their Chimera Ant lives. But the reason why that doesn't work out is because of the fact that, remember how Kite's body was pretty much put back together by Pitou. So what did Kite do in order to remain alive? That's the question here. Or at least have his consciousness transfer over to, like, another being. How does that happen? So we may find out the details about this later on. We're not too sure. But at this point in time, it's still a giant veil of mystery around it. Now, what was also pretty cool was the Pariston thing, man. Pariston straight up messing with everybody. Not only does he pretty much make Gon and mind you, Gon just woke up. He just woke up, had this whole reunion thing with Leorio, and then he had this whole meeting with Jin, which again was his original goal, and he's spewing out what he last remembers, which was the whole Chimera Ant thing. So obviously Gon's not in he's not in the right frame of mind to be voting on something like this. But Pariston, he does it, yeah. So choose. He's like, well, you, because Leorio has to be a doctor. Alright, very nice. Simple, and at the same time very clever on Pariston's part. Because Pariston probably knew that shit. Pariston's a very smart individual, so it's highly unlikely that Pariston didn't do any research into Leorio. I'm pretty sure he did quite the bit of research. And then he becomes chairman, he makes Cheeto vice chairman, and he steps down. Pretty much pulling you along the string the entire way, and he got bored and he let go. Again, Jin admits that him and Pariston are very similar, but in Jin's case, he gets bored far quicker. However, that doesn't mean that Pariston doesn't get bored. He did get bored. So he got bored. He's like, okay, so I'm no longer chairman. I won, but I pretty much relinquished my seat on the spot, and Cheeto, you're chairman. Cheeto gets really pissed. And by the way, Cheeto, he throws me off a little bit, because Cheeto, the voice actor is clearly Chopper from One Piece, and I hate Chopper. But it's like a more, and this sounds kind of weird, but it sounds like a more masculine Chopper. But the character is clearly female. But in One Piece, the character is male. It's weird. It's so fucking weird. I don't know, man. It throws me off. It really does. But whatever. And then you have the whole thing where, in essence, it's, yo, and in Pariston, you're mad at me, but I'm here for fun. Like, that's the reason why I became vice chairman in the first place. Just to fuck around with Netero. And then he gives her, like, the stare. Like, after he cries, we don't see it, though. Because Pariston, he's that kind of dude where you can't see my tears. Like, on some Black Star shit. But he turns around again. And he's like, if ever the organization becomes boring, I will toy with you for real. And he has the evil eyes going on. And you're like, uh-oh. Hey, this guy's serious. So, I mean, listen, man. Pariston has a whole host of stuff going on, even after because the series is ending in 2 episodes, or 2 weeks, I should say. So even after they end off the anime, in the manga, he's still doing a whole host of stuff, and it's ridiculous. Though, of course, Togashi, he has back problems, so we're not getting any Hunter x Hunter for a long, long time. Now, to get to the fundamentals, animation overall was more or less okay. Nothing really too big to animate. Though I did like where they went with the whole crying scenes with Killua, because they really emphasized the eyes. They really showcased that Killua was experiencing a whole host of emotions when he initially saw Aluka. I mean, first of all, it was banning Nanika from Aluka's consciousness or something like that. And then it was seeing Aluka's reaction. That surprised Killua clearly. And you could see that portrayed in the eyes very well. So the animation was okay, but what I think did stand out the most in the entire episode was just the animation of Killua's eyes. Then, when it comes to the pacing, it was fairly low paced because they did cover quite a bit of ground. You have the whole wrapping up of the Gon thing, then you have the whole wrapping up of the Killua thing as well, because Killua, he bans Illumi. And by the way, what the hell did Illumi do to those guys who were guarding the front of the hospital? Or the makeshift hospital. Yeah, because it was outside in the parking lot. So essentially, it is a makeshift hospital. So what did he do? Like, all we see is like a shockwave of some kind, and these guys on the ground, I think, dead. And I'm like, what? Like, Illumi did something. He's crazy powerful. He is. He truly is. Though I've argued it. I think Jin is still the strongest person among the verse that we've seen thus far. I think he's stronger than Chrollo. I think he's stronger than Silva, Zeno, Illumi, Hisoka. All the Zodiacs. Harrison, I don't know where he lies. Harrison actually may be Illumi, Chrollo level. I'm not joking. I'm not joking. Whatever. Different topic. The point here is that he does something to these guys in front. And then he pretty much has this idea. After he gets warped away, he has the idea that I can control Aluka by controlling Killua. And I'll do anything to make that happen. Now, why is that? Because in essence, when it comes to Aluka's powers, they're like a mock version. They're like a, not as potent, but they're like a version of the Dragon Balls. You make a command and it comes true. But it only applies to Killua. Killua is the exemption among exemptions. No one else but Killua has that power over Aluka. Not Silva, not Zeno, not Moms, no one. Not even Subon, no one. So, that is a very potent power. Now, granted, it's not confirmed whether or not Nanika can return those, let's say, like, for example, if someone said, okay, well, Uvogin of the Phantom Troop died, restore him to life. It's not confirmed if that can happen. I doubt it, alright? I don't think that Aluka is like Purunga, Shenron level, where like entire planets and ecosystems can be restored. No. I would not go that far. But she is a small-time version of Purunga, and I fucking can't stand Purunga. I really can't. I know I'm deviating, but I can't stand that fucker. Because he makes the series bullshit. It's like, really? Like, it's okay, nigga. Unlimited wishes. And then I can restore, like, fucking, oh, okay, fine. One wish. But it doesn't, like, I have no restrictions. There we go, yeah. It's one wish. But I have no restrictions. I'm like, dude, what the hell, man? Dude, seriously? Actually, no, that was the old Purunga. I think it was the new Purunga. He had a fucking upgrade. I don't know, man. It's been like forever, and I'm just pissed. I'm just pissed. I said unlimited wishes. No, he's not that crazy, but still, it's nuts. And again, Aluka's like a mock version of that. And then, well, actually, no, that's pretty much it. Yeah, because I did mention the whole parts of the story progression overall. And the character development really just goes for, well, mainly it's the cool character interaction between Gon and Jin. That was pretty cool. And then it's the character interaction and character growth of Killua and Aluka. Because Killua, even though the needles are, like, they're no longer, like, on his skull, because he removed those when he's fighting against that one dude, or Ramot, shit. But he still is heavily influenced by his family, by his brother. And keep in mind that one of the main reasons why Killua decided to tag along with Gon was because he was trying to go away from his assassin roots, in essence, from his assassin mentality, from his family. So, because the only person in his family that I think he truly respects is his dad, Silva. How he feels about his granddad, I'm not too sure. It's respect, obviously, but after that, I don't know. But again, when it comes to Killua, when him meeting Gon for the first time, he saw Gon as a scapegoat away from his current standing, and he wanted to be a hunter in full. So the fact that he's still being controlled or manipulated by Illumi's words is a sign that Killua still has some ways to go when it comes to him completely abolishing his assassin roots. Though he has made great strides over the course of the series thus far. That's true. That's undeniable. It's undeniable. Though, I mean, I think, here's my, and it may seem subtle, and if it happens in the future, then I know he's really come a long way. Killua always has this habit of walking without making any sound. Because he was trained that way for his entire life. If Killua gets to the point where he can walk or run and actually make some decent sound, then you know, wow, he's really come a long way from the assassin roots. So that's my thoughts on the episode, and I will see you guys later. This is King of Lightning. Be sure, of course, rate the video, comment, subscribe. The overall rating is going to be a great plus. I did like it. It was emotional. I almost had a tear-up moment when it came to Killua and Aluka, because, you know, like Nissan and, you know, that whole stuff. It was touching. Gon and Jin, it was more comedic. It was still touching, but you just have Jin just being real awkward and shit, and like you understand, like, what the fuck? You're terrible at that. He's like, yo, you wanna square up, dog? You wanna go? Yeah, so he's ready to fight, and he wound up fighting, but it was more comedic. And whether or not you find which one more touching than the other one, again, I'm not gonna really debate that, but because that is personal preference, to be quite honest. So I'll leave it at that. King of Lightning episode is gonna be great plus, and I will see you guys later. Rate the video, comment, subscribe. Peace. Have a nice day.